Asvin, welcome to Copenhagen.
Tak.
I understand that you are back in Copenhagen after almost 18 years of being away. And it seems this city holds a very important place in your heart when it comes to your professional journey.
Yeah.
I want to explore why is that, and also how does it feel to be back in Copenhagen?
Before I begin with a little of Danish flavor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for the invitation.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. Copenhagen is not just one of the another travel itinerary city for me. It is indeed in 2008. It is in Copenhagen, the real career of banking transformation journey started for me. So by then, I still remember during 2008, I came for DNB Nord Bank. By then, they were trying to implement the core banking modernization and also trying to embrace the future of payments. As a consultant, I remember studying the value chain of the payments, going through each motion and see how we can retrofit into the faster way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And well, fast forward 18 years today, I see still the need for a consultant coming in and studying the value chain of ecosystem is still there. But only thing is, the focus now is to see how the intelligent way of doing things seems to be of paramount significance today.
Yes.
For instance, take for example of the treasury management. Today, the bank's treasury have all the ways of doing faster way of moving money. But what happens is the money, huge value of millions and $1 billion gets stuck in the transit. It's not, the value is still not yet realized. It's either stuck with the correspondent banks or in the stock settlement and stuff like that. That's where, when we have this sort of an intelligence in handy and take a good intel about it, and also marry that with next gen products like blockchain and digital payments and stuff like that, the synergies are going to be towards how efficient the intelligence can be implemented. So yeah, I'm very excited to be at the synergies where earlier it was the banking, faster way of doing the banking, and today it's how the intelligence can be done or uptaken faster.
You were mentioning AI just before, and pretty much everybody is asking the question whether AI will replace humans. But wouldn't the better question be, what should humans become in an AI world?
Well, it's true that AI can expedite the time between the inception of an idea to the time the value is realized. Even you mentioned me about the podcast, how I want to get an output. You said that external SSD is much faster than the traditional hard disk way of doing things.
Yeah.
So yeah, AI helps in, expediting the time frame where the ideation can be implemented.
Yes.
But think about this. Yesterday, if somebody has to do some research into a market, they need a lot of spreadsheets, discussions. They need to personally gather things and then come at a kind of a conclusion of how they have to go about with it. But today, AI can provide some sort of a quick, meaningful information in a jiffy.
Yeah, starting point.
The question what we need to ask is, has the intelligence changed? No. The only thing is the time frame in which I can surface those intelligence is definitely changed, which is a good part of having an AI. But imagine suddenly a customer sends money to a wrong beneficiary, and suddenly someone loses the lifelong savings they had completely due to a scam. And even banks, in spite of having their enterprise-wide system, they wrongly invest in some money laundering activity unknowingly. So the question comes, nobody's going to ask which AI model have you used for it. No. The responsibility lies with the human. That's where the humanity and the aspects of humanity, where the decision and moving forward lies profound with humanity is what I feel. I also think of the situation that you walk into a music concert hall, somebody's playing a violin. Yes, of course, you hear the notes.
Yes.
But we all know that the silence between one note and another is what makes the music more enjoyable, isn't it?
The human imperfection.
Yeah. And imagine the music is just full of notes without any pause, then it will be just a noise.
Yes.
So what gives the beauty to the music is the pause and silence in between the notes. The same thing. So today with AI, I can get a lot of voracious information, but it is the human decision to go in which direction is the pause that I'm referring. So I get the information and classify whether that information is very realistic to be applied, which is, of course, voicing down to the ontology of our existence. And the next thing is whether the information we have is really good enough and we have the conviction to go forward, which is the epistemology of doing things.
Yeah.
So, and finally, whether once I go ahead with this, will this be a real beneficial for the community as such? which is the value part of it, which is basically the happiness and the axiology part of things comes into picture. So all these three things definitely need some sort of a conscious human interpretance. And that is where I feel AI can only help in expediting things, but still the profoundness of making the life move forward still lies domiciled with humanity.
So AI is not here to replace us, but to enhance our skills.
Perfect.
If I understand correctly. But going beyond AI and technology, what is the true purpose of banking?
Well, you asked the right question. I'm glad that you asked this question. If you think about it, people doesn't wake up just asking, I need a savings account. Rather, they want security for the money. And somebody doesn't want just a mortgage. They wanted a home to live in. And somebody they don't want to just make payments. Rather, they wanted to move value by making that payment and get the services done.
Yeah.
So the true purpose of banking must be to, focus on the financial well-being of the parties involved, be it the banks or the governments or the end customers. Interestingly, I saw this interview when traveling back from Sydney to Copenhagen, where Michael Gitlin, who is the CEO of Capital Groups, mentioned that the key significance of their offering is that the analyst who manage the portfolio of the customer, they also invest in the portfolio. So which means it's not merely an advice, right? So it's like tangibly taking the commitment of what you advise.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing I feel the banking should adopt. It should not be just a focus of moving money or in improving the banking efficiency and intelligence, but all for what? It should be to move the life forward into a financial well-being is what I see. Should be the end game.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great way to have banking where everybody wins.
That's true. It's a win-win for all.
And because they have skin in the game, there is less risk for the investors and as well for the banking system. Yeah.
And even the trust and the trust towards the banking improves.
Yes.
Where people will start transacting more with the banking products. So by way, it's a win-win for the government and the economy.
So everybody's in together.
Yes.
They are in together to win, and lose will mean lose for everybody.
Perfect.
I love that way of thinking. And if that's your philosophy, what kind of advice has guided your consulting in practice? And also, how has that affected the ethos of your company, Quench Consulting?
Well, that's a very contemplative question for me too. So what I've realized over the period of time is that I've done multiple engagement, I've been a practitioner, but I come across certain brilliant ideas which never gets implemented. That could be because of the timeline or budget or regulatory reasons. That's where this idea came in, that I should have my own consulting firm where I can organically cultivate those ideas and give a meaningful outcome to it. So then there comes the question, what is the use of it? Somewhere down the line, if the banking community as such gets useful based on the ideas that I've organically cultivated, I feel it's sort of a great honor for me. That's where, while being a lifelong practitioner, just like the way we manage any investment portfolio with conscious attention, I do have a framework where the ideas are, put up in inception and thought through, and a momentum is given so that the holistic approach for an idea is getting implemented. Take up an example of an agile. So agile as such has originally whatever projects they implemented have gone and done and dusted, but still today agile as a principle is being used as a royalty by many of the banks to implement the solutions. The same concept goes with me. So to move the life forward, if some of the ideas are really useful, I just wanted to organically cultivate as part of the Quench Consulting and give it as an offering as a thought leader in the space.
Why the name Quench Consulting?
Yeah, the Quench, as you see, the Quench, right? It has a power to it.
Yeah.
So any ideas, it's really meaningful and it gives a human momentum. It quenches, as in it satisfies the purpose of having a solution which will give some financial well-being to the community.
I think your answers give me a lot of food for thought when it comes to not only the financial system, but also the future. Because AI, with all these changes, brings quite a lot of instability in our personal lives. Like, of course, you're an expert in this. But coming from someone like you, it gives me a bit of peace of mind knowing that people are working behind the scenes to use the AI for meaningful ways to enhance our infrastructure rather than taking down. But without being said, thank you so much for being here with me today and asking some of my questions. It's been a pleasure. But before I say goodbye to you, I want to ask you, what's your plans for Copenhagen?
You just put it in a lovely litany. I really like the way you just told how AI is going to be used. And that's where I see the consultants like me should, explore multiple markets, and create some sort of an evangelism, not just with the AI, but creating an overall financial well-being for the ecosystem. In that way, I am hoping that I will be able to come back again and again for short-term consulting where I can play some sort of an advisory role and share my value adds to this community.
Okay,
thanks.
That's all good. Me. Copenhagen is very grateful to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for today.
Thank you.